Welcome to Africa Speaks of today. My name is Steve Mulindwa, and I hope you have all had a wonderful weekend, as usual, because sometimes it's not easy to have a wonderful weekend. So once again, welcome to Africa Speaks of today, and we have a wonderful topic today, and I do hope that whatever you're doing, you're going to find it interesting in terms of interesting. I should say that because when it comes to women, it's sometimes a very different story, and women look at it from very different angles. Now, do African women need male role models to succeed? I repeat that question. Do African women need male role models to succeed in life? Do they? There have been so many successful women, but did they all need role models to be part of their lives to inspire them to be successful? Well, this is it. For centuries, African women have been behind men as far as our cultures and are concerned. But the coming in of Western education has changed the roles, those roles. More and more women in the 21st century are in leadership roles than ever before. Never been before. The 21st century is a very different century and has moved women to a higher level. Now the question is, are men the role models they look up to, or is it their fellow women? This is where arguments will always come in, where some women who have succeeded say it's their fathers, it is their husbands, it's whatever, but it's not other women. So if it's not other women, then who is their role model? Who will take credit for this? That's another thing that we've got to take into account. Who is taking credit for this? Are the men the ones taking credit, or is the women taking credit? With me in studio today is Lydia Tett Olet, a journalist, a broadcaster, with us here, Omega TV, an insurance person, a mother. She's got so many roles. An organizer of Kenya in the Park. There are so many roles that she's involved in, and one of the most successful women I've ever had to encounter in my life. Now, are men the best role models? Or it's a different ball game?
All right, thank you so much for the introduction.
Yeah.
So, men.
Yeah.
I think I want to be very, very, I don't want to say professional with my answer.
Why?
I want to make sure that whatever I say, boy child don't feel that I'm being against them. You know what I mean? Because nowadays everything you do, boy child this, boy child that,
yeah.
Boy child is being neglected.
Yeah.
But I don't think women need men to succeed or as role models. Because you see, they always say that in every successful man, there's a good woman.
Yeah.
It's not just a woman, a good woman, because a woman can break you and a woman can make you. So there's a good woman. But there is no any proverb out there that says that a successful woman, there's a man.
Okay.
So I don't feel, or I don't think personally, that we need men role models to succeed in whatever we're doing. I think women are so strong mentally, they're so independent mentally, they're stronger mentally than men. Men are stronger physically, but women are stronger mentally. And if for me to succeed in whatever I'm doing, whether it's business or career-wise, I don't need physical strength to succeed. I need mental strength to succeed.
Okay.
And I think women have that already instilled in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, from what we observe in most of the cases, and probably in your past experience, is that, like I said in my intro, the 21st century has seen a change, a game changer, where you are seeing more and more women in the leadership role. In Africa now, we have almost something like 6 presidents who are women, who have ever been in those roles, which were initially for the past 60 years held by men.
Yeah.
And of course, there are things in Africa which affect women's sort of coming up, in other words, being successful, husband sometimes, sometimes the cultures, sometimes religion. There's so many other things that we will have a look at. So that is where we're saying, look, those women who haven't really, who are successful, you're going to find that they're talking about men. I said, look, my father was a role model for me. Then somehow, the mother comes in, but you find that the father has been, I mean, Serena Williams and her sister in tennis, and then I've got women here who have just won the European Cup here, and then you'll find that when you hear the interview, you're going to see that somewhere there are men who are coming in. The mothers have nurtured them, but then the men have been the role models. And that is where I was coming, and I want to get that from your personal experience. Is there somebody, from all the success that you have achieved, organizing Kenya in the Park, your insurance jobs, everything, do you look at it, did you look at another woman as a role model, or did you look at another man?
I think we have this perspective of life that for you to succeed, you must have looked at somebody else to succeed.
Okay.
But I think, personally, I don't think that's true. I think if you put your mind into something and then also believe in your creator, whoever you believe your creator is, the above power. Personally, I believe my above power is God.
Okay.
So for me to believe in what I'm doing, and also to know that I want to be the person that God created me to be, I don't have to look at somebody else to succeed. I don't have to look at someone and think, oh, this man is my role model, this woman is my role model for me to succeed. That's just on a personal level.
All right.
But we do have some people, and when you say do women, that means that you're putting all the women in the same box.
Okay.
And you're saying all women need this. But yes, there are some women who will look at men as their role model, but we also have a lot of women, especially we're talking about the black community. We have a lot of women, especially in the black community, like their parents were never there, or their fathers were always absent. Their uncles, probably uncle is doing something crazy somewhere else. So that is why most women don't really need men as their role model to succeed. And what you've said, like 60 years ago, it was seen that the woman's place is in the kitchen. But as much as the woman's place was in the kitchen, the man who was going to succeed, it was the woman who was advising. It's everything behind the scene is a woman. So the men are always just, and when I say men don't get me wrong and start shooting me saying, oh, men, I'm saying most men. Okay, that's why even when they say if you're a president, you should have a wife. No, you need to, but you should have a wife. If you're anywhere like a pastor or priest or whatever, a pastor, you should have a wife. But if you're a pastor, Mrs., they don't say you should have a husband. Or if you're a president woman, they don't say you should have a husband. But women are always the one leading behind the scene. So the men will just be in front, and the woman is the one doing all the things behind the scene. So as much as 60 years ago, it was the men who were in leadership, but behind the scene, it was the woman who was actually doing the whole work for the man. The man is just a face of this company, the face of success. But the real person behind this success is a woman. And that's why I think now it is reversed, because the women are like, you know what, instead of me making you succeed behind the scene, me too, I want to go in front and succeed by myself. And that's why now you see there's a lot of women taking leadership. And then also we do have, there was a lot of girl power and empowerment that came in place, a lot of empowerment for women. So, and women actually grabbed it because they really wanted to be at the top, while men slacked behind. And now that's why there's all this boy child, girl child happening.
So in your opinion, you don't look at this as the changing times are to do with education, they're to do with the education, where more and more people are educated, and because of the education, it's like the company has upgraded you. I said you better rise up. So if you're working for a particular company, you're getting the same amount as a man, you're doing everything which any other man would have done. And they said, why not? Now, Rwanda, Uganda have more MPs who are women. They are given those roles that Rwanda, for example, certain seats are reserved for women to raise the level of women. Even Kenya now are here, the same thing. So you're not looking at this from the changing of times that a door has been opened for us.
I think it's the rightful place.
Okay.
No, it's the rightful place. Because like I said, for the men who are succeeding, there was a woman behind.
Okay.
So the man was just being the face. But now that we have been given that opportunity to be the face as well, if you wanted to, a lot of women have taken the opportunity to be the face. So for me to be the one telling you how to go and speak, how to go and succeed, how to go and develop.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So let me be the one doing it myself because I've been given the opportunity. So I think from the beginning, the rightful place for a woman was to lead.
Was to lead?
Yes, because if a woman is leading, things are different. But if a man is leading, you cannot compare. Even when there was COVID, the countries that women were leading were more organized, like Germany. They were more organized than the countries that men were leading. Because as much as, especially if you're a leader, you need empathy, you need compassion in leadership. But men don't have that. They just have the physical strength to rule. But women have that.
The women have that. Now, there is something else which I observed for quite a while. You've organized Kenya in the Park for the last 10 years. And congratulations, by the way, for having achieved that for the last 10 years and for, of course, the previous ones that have all come along and all have been organized by you.
Yes.
And they've been extremely successful.
Yeah.
And obviously, there are other people who are looking at you as a role model. I said, look, I wish I was like Lydia. And the issues that you've gone through in terms of organizing it and all that is something that we would want other women to learn about. What kind of difficulties you faced in putting this together? How do you organize it? How do you get the men behind you? How do you get your husband? How do you get everybody else behind you to organize that? Because it's not something so simple. It's not simple. And so many people have tried and failed.
I think the first thing to a success is resilience.
Okay.
I think resilience, and because there's a lot of things that will happen through the journey that will make you feel, I want to stop.
Okay.
I don't want to do this anymore. And consistency as well. Consistency is very important. Resilience is very important. Passion is very important. But most of the time, when we start something, we start thinking business. Straight away, you start thinking, I'm going to make money. I want to make money. I want to do this. You fail.
You have to have a passion for it.
You must have a passion.
Yeah.
And passion and making money don't go together. Those things don't go together.
Yeah.
Because if you're passionate about something, then money will come later. And even if you do it and money don't come, you still do it. You still do it because you're passionate about this thing. And consistency and resilience. But I'm telling you, there's so many things that have happened since 2015 to date. And every year it's a different challenge.
Of course.
You know, when you say, when you're maybe 2016, things that happened 2015, I was like, I've learned. So 2016 is going to be easier because I've learned 2015, the mistakes we did, the feedback and everything. 2016 comes with its own problems.
Of course.
Its own difficulties, its own challenges. So there is no any year that you say you've learned and now you're going to make it better.
Each year brings a very different challenge.
Brings different challenge. And I always say that the only time you stop learning is when you're 6 feet under. That's the only time you stop learning. But as long as you're still alive, you learn every day. Because this year, the challenges that we faced this year are things that I was thinking, I've gone through this before. Like this could have been just easy. I could have just closed my eyes and boom, just organized the 10 years. But it was so difficult. And I think if you ask me, from 2015 to now, this was the most difficult year to organize the event. And yet, it was the most beautiful event as a result.
And successful.
So a lot of people just see the result. They don't see the process. Nobody cares about the process. Nobody cares about what you went through the process. Nobody cares about when you're in the hot, in the clay, when they're molding you. People just like to see the finished product.
Of course.
Oh, this cup is so beautiful. But it doesn't know what this cup went through. They don't care about that.
They want the results.
They just want the result. Where is my cup? Where is this? And if you tell them, wait, there's a process, they don't care about the process. So this year, it was so difficult for us that And I know saying this, some people even think, oh, this girl is just probably lying. But on a Wednesday, before the event, they actually took us to court.
Woo.
And that was on a Wednesday before the event.
Wow.
So I think the whole week from Monday to the event, all I did was cry. I didn't even eat.
Wow.
And that's why I've lost so much weight. I lost 10 kilos.
Why?
And through that, even my appetite is not back yet because there was so many things that was happening. The neighbors took upon themselves and they're like, we don't want this event. And I'm thinking, why did you have to wait until now?
The day when it's about to happen.
And because of each borough, and that's something also that I respect about this country, that they had to respect the people's views because they live in that borough. So they had to call us to defend ourselves. And we actually had to pay somebody almost £800 to come and defend us. So if we had lost that case on that same week,
then they wouldn't have been.
The event would have been cancelled. And at that time, the artists have arrived, all the sponsors have arrived, people have bought their tickets, people have come from Norway, wherever they've come from, and they've come to the UK already just for that event. Because I met so many people. I met people from Norway, France, Germany, Netherlands, Dubai, and these are people who just came to say hello to me. Some people maybe came and they didn't say hello to me. So probably there was a lot of people from different countries. So that week,
oh my goodness.
And that's why when I say from my slogan, it can only be God, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It can only be God. Because there's no way that thing could have just turned around within a day. So when we went to court, we went for the hearing, and my husband was so nervous. He felt like going to the toilet, vomiting, everything. But I was like, relax. God has.
We're going to go through this.
God has our back. But as much as you think, or you're saying God has our back, there's that still little voice.
Of course, at the back of your mind.
What if? You know.
Imagine with the shame at the last minute, and you say, why didn't you tell us a month in advance that this event is? Why do you have to wait until the last minute to say that?
And if you're told people then, that's what I'm saying, nobody cares about the process. Because you could have told people, it's not our fault, blah, blah, blah. They'll be like, no, you're lying, you're just using it as an excuse. But it was really, really bad. And I still want to say thank you to the mayor of Ealing, because he personally wrote and said, I want this event to happen. In here, in this borough. And I want it to happen because I saw it 3 years, because that was the 3rd year we're doing it. And the mayor always attended. And he said, I really love the event. But again, this is my borough and these are my people. So I can't just say, I can't boss it out and say the event is going to happen. We still have to follow the right procedure. Even though personally, I would not even want you guys to go to court, to hearing, right? But so it had to happen. It did help us along the way as well. But we got somebody who represented us. And this person was so good that by the time he was halfway, I was like, this thing, we've got this thing. But when they came back, they said, the event is happening. Everything they were against, they said is happening. But they only said we have to increase security, we have to get CCTV, we have to get more toilets. So it was just a lot. The budget that we thought we had. You
have to overrun it.
we went over the budget.
The thing is, all that, I'm getting it in. But then at the same time, also have a feeling that there are other things, like, for example, having very good people behind you, having a very good, wonderful team. Team. Because most of the people who failed in a way don't have teams. They have they have the teams, but sometimes the teams
who don't share the same passion or vision.
Exactly. So you're looking at that, and then you're saying, okay, you must have a very, very good team, and you must have a procedure in which you selected that team, so that it's the best team. It's like Manchester City or Manchester United. Any of these top clubs have the best players. If you don't have the best players, you can't survive in the Premier League. You go in the lower league. So it's something similar to that. You must have, there's a word in Kenya, in a Kenyan word, I think in Swahili. I can't get it here. Well, I've forgotten how to mention it. But it's having such a team. As it brings in the uniqueness of the way performance is related and is put forward. And I have that feeling, is there a clever way of selecting this, or you have had these people over the years and you've said, Steven's my man, whatever happens is going to happen. Joe is my man, so and so is. Did you have that criteria at the beginning so that you have a team in place? Because obviously, the team is one of the major issues that makes it a success. Yeah.
I've worked with the people that are in my team are people that have been there for long.
Okay.
I don't really change people. And then also, as much as now, if I want to change, I have to look at this person. Are they for not just for me, but are they for the event, Kenyan Friends in the Park?
Can they be team players?
Can they be team players?
Yeah.
So I've added, sometimes as we go along, I'll add one person so that I don't have a stress of watching over 3 or 4 people that I've added in the group, in the team. So I'll add maybe one person, and then I'll watch that person, and then if that person is correct, I'll be like, okay, this person can actually be a team player. The next year probably add someone else. But whatever I go through, I don't tell the whole team. Because as much as you have a team, there are some people that have weakness in this field and strength in this field. So you might end up telling a team what's going on, and they run. And they can be very, very good, but they're not good with dealing with stress, or they're not good with dealing with anything that happens, because they might think, oh my God, my brand is going to be soiled. Somebody is going to soil my brand. Let me leave before everything happens, because maybe they have little faith, and it's not. That's who they are. So I'm not judging them for being like that. But I didn't. Only maybe 4 or 5 people in my team. I have 17. We are 17 of us.
Okay.
But maybe 5 knew what was happening.
Okay.
And the 5 that knew what was happening, they were with me like this.
Okay.
One day we even stayed in one person's house for the whole night, the whole day and night.
Yeah.
We were all crying together and praying together.
Yeah.
So it's just few people that I can tell what is happening because of their strength. Because I know 2 or 3 people that I can tell that, and then they'll start with their negativity. Well, if it doesn't happen, you don't want to hear that.
And then, they're not positive.
They're not positive.
And that's bad.
And that's very bad.
Sort of puts everybody down.
Exactly. I have some people in my team now. Yes, they're very strong, and they're with what they do, and they're very brilliant. But every year they'll come to me and say, it's going to rain today. I'm like, it's not going to rain. Can you just get out of my face? It's not going to. No, but the weather says. And I'm like, please. But yet they're very good with what they're doing. But
by the way, I have to say that I was also supposed to be of assistance to Lydia, and I let her down, but I let her down in a very gentle way, that she didn't really collapse, and otherwise she would have collapsed and things would have been in a bad way. At least I did inform her that some of the things I was supposed to do, I didn't do them, and for that I apologize. The Kenyan government.
Yes.
I got a story from somebody, one of the journalists at the BBC. What's her name again? Oh gosh, I'm terrible with name. She was mentioning something after talking to somebody. I was supposed to actually mention this to you, and I think even Sam Okoye mentioned it. One of my other friends, that the Kenyan government at some point had wanted to not to hijack the event, but to see how they can be part of it in a much big way, because of the way it gathers all Kenyans around. But the former ambassador who was there, High Commissioner who had gone back, I think the report didn't really, because it passed through the ambassador's, the High Commissioner's office. And he was a good friend of yours. But somewhere along the way, I think he was a bit skeptical about, I don't know why. I don't know why. But anyway, this is information I got, that the serikali ilikuwa nataka kukuja, and they wanted to come in and either put money on the ground, because they could see the scheme has a lot of Kenyans who come in, and because the Kenyans are there, then you have a chance of meeting so many Kenyans that are in one place, and say, okay, you need your passports, you need land, you need this, and they know that people in the diaspora have got the money, and well, they could invest back home, and so on and so forth. So somewhere along the way, was there anything along that way that probably the plugs were never pulled properly for the Kenyan government to step in? And if they were not pulled properly, what could have been the problem? Did you step on some toes or something?
Well, I would say that Kenyan Friends in the Park is for everybody. Government is not for everybody. Because there are some people who are always pro-government and
those
for government.
Who are not,
That is even in this country.
Yeah,
Some people hate labor, some
Yeah.
people love labor.
I know.
So if you have something going and it's for everybody, you cannot bring labor inside. Because if you bring labor, then that means they're only favoring the people for labor.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with Kenyan Friends in the Park. If the government was to come in, that means I'm only favoring the people who are for the government. What about the people who are not and they want to come to Kenyan Friends in the Park? And now we also know what's happening in my country right now. What's happening in the government as well.
And
everything that is happening. And I did get a lot of phone calls. A lot of people were coming. Even that day, there was one. Politician. He's not a politician, but he's an activist.
Okay.
Boniface Mwangi.
He's
a very big activist. The one that even was in Mombasa, or in Tanzania, and they deported him back, and there was all that.
You had issues with the Tanzanian government.
He was in Kenya Friends in the Park. And I was asked before if we can give him the platform. And I said no, for the reasons is not because for him personally as Boniface Mwangi, of course, I like him. I like what he's doing as an activist. I love him standing for the truth. But again, if he takes that mic, is he going to talk for everybody in the park? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get your point,
Yes.
Get your point,
so I said no, and they were like, okay, can he make a flyer? Another person calls me, I don't know which minister is coming. Another person called me, oh, Kilonzo is here, he wants to talk to people. I said, no. So there were so many politicians or activists or people who want to just come and say either 1 term or 2 term. I was like, no, because in Kenyan Friends in the Park, we have both people. We have 1-term people and we have 2-term people. And it's for everybody to come and enjoy themselves and feel like this is a place that we can come free of that politics, free of everything that is happening, and just enjoy the 2 days as collectively.
Politics has its way of sneaking into something. Everywhere you're going to go, somewhere, somehow, it will try and sneak in through the back door. It's never in front. It's never in front, so it comes through the back door. And
I'll say I was so proud of the MC that we had, because he was very diplomatic. He was very professional. He could hear, because of course there were so many people and you cannot control the crowd. You cannot control what they say or what they think. And there was chanting, because some people are chanting 1 time, some people are chanting 2 times. But it was the way he actually mitigated that situation was very professionally. He mitigated it so well that I didn't even know what happened. Some people are the ones who are telling me that this is what happened. But last year, it happened so loud that I heard it. So that's why the MC for this year, I can actually give him credit that he mitigated the situation really, really well. But because he's a Kenyan, so this is Kenya and Friends in the Park. But MC wasn't Kenya, so she wasn't understanding what was happening in my country at that time. It's still happening now. But the MC is a Kenyan, so he knows what's happening in Kenya. So he knew how to mitigate the situation. And that's why I'm saying that park is for everybody.
Of course.
It's for everybody.
Of course. To come there and enjoy. Now, I want to ask to go back to the topic, which is obviously the role models. And statistics show, because I was going through this, and I even asked the lady who was here a couple of weeks ago, I think last week, about women not being role models to other women. This has been statistics show, because I went through that there are more women who are succeeded, but when you go out to schools, like I've been to several schools, just to sort of not be a role model as such, but what are they called? Motivational speakers, to speak to young boys, 16, 17, and so on. But in 2 of the groups that we've been in some of the schools where I've been, it has always been me and about 6 other men or 4 other men, retired boxers, retired footballers, things like that. But then at one time, one of the girls, in fact, I don't know whether this was in Hackney or somewhere, she was asking, where are the women who were supposed to come? There was so-and-so who was supposed to come. Because at one point they were saying that the supermodel Naomi Kambi Campbell was supposed to come, and nobody asked, and none of us even knew until the teacher stood up and said, no, Naomi is in New York and blah blah blah, and someone else was supposed to come. So the point is that there are so many young male role models, or young men politicians and so on, who go out in that, but you find so few women. Once the women have succeeded, they don't want to be role models to other women. Why is this so?
That is a question that I
you don't have
really
an answer.
But it's true. It's not that it's not true. It's 100% true what you're saying. And again, it's not all women, because
I shouldn't generalize it.
Generalizing it is not very good. It's not all women, but I can say is yes, most women are like that. They don't like to empower another woman, because I think, and also sometimes you meet a woman who is so empowered, a woman who is strong, immediately she sees you as a threat. So she sees you because you're strong as well. So two strong women
cannot be in the same room.
Rarely, because they all want to be leaders. They all want to lead. They don't want to, but two strong men can actually lead together. So that is the only thing that when it comes to men and women, boy child and girl child, boy child know how to control that. And I think it's because we rule so much with emotions. And I think that's what takes over. Like when I meet another woman, my emotions have started going up and down already. Oh, this woman, who does she think she is? You don't even know them. But the minute you see her, because you can, like that. Because you can read somebody's personality. Immediately somebody enters a room, you can read the personality and see, this woman, she's strong. There's something about this woman. There's a very positive energy with her. And I don't like it. How can you not like a positive energy?
Somebody you don't even know.
You just don't like a positive energy because, this woman looks this, looks that. It's true. So most women...
So in other words, you're saying it's something which is naturally, an inbuilt sort of mechanism inside. No, because even on the ceremony we attended, me and my boss here, Joe and Danswa, I could see the way the ceremony was so good. The lady, Amma, and her husband are celebrating 50 years, and the whole thing was, wonderful. But at the back, you could see some of the women, they are looking, and they've come on a ceremony, but it's like they don't like the happiness that is in the room, which is soaking up.
But you see,
I said, why is this so?
That's different, because that's now jealousy, or somebody feeling like, because some women, we've been engineered as women that you have to be married. Men don't really see that as, because women, when they are young, they start, hey, when I get married, this is my wedding. Men don't even think of that. Men think of, when I'm older, maybe my car, my house, my business. But girls, when they're growing up, you see them with the dolls. And it's all about, when I get married, I get my kids, I get this. When I get my children at that age. Probably when they're now older, then they can make up their mind and say, I don't want children, I don't want to get married. But from when we're young, that is what has been told in the society, that woman needs to get married, a woman needs to have children. That's why when a woman can't have children, she gets so depressed. Some of them even end up probably committing suicide, because now the society is on them. The society is never on a man. When a man cannot have children, it's always about a woman. And we do have men who cannot actually make a woman pregnant.
It's true.
But it's always about a woman. Anything that happens is always women being blamed. So if women come together and they see another woman happy, they're thinking to themselves, why can't that be me? So that is different when you go to a celebration and you see, women are not celebrating another woman. Probably that's jealousy. But when it comes to now, strong women meet, and it's an empowerment thing, they don't like it either, because all they're seeing is, this woman, she wants to take over. You don't want to take over. Sometimes you've just come to just sit and just watch and just relax and learn something. But the thing is, most women think that they've learned everything. They've reached where they can't learn anymore. But that's just deception.
What do you think is your biggest achievement? The biggest achievement you can count, other than children?
It's my children. You didn't have to say rather than my children.
But that's something different.
That's the biggest achievement.
I know it is, but there's something okay, we say the kids are the first achievement, the next achievement, and the third achievement.
So my second one is the school.
The school.
I have a school in Kibera.
Oh, you built a school?
Yes.
Oh,
the school was there already,
Asante
but I
sana,
just refurbished it. It was there already, but it was a school that was really, the condition was really, really bad.
Okay.
So I went there, and of course, it's not me, it's Kenyan friends in the park and my friends and everything, but I was the one who was overseeing that. And the school is now, we have at least structure. We have a school that if you enter and you're talking, you're not scared, because before I used to sit in there and my mind was just going, what if this thing collapsed? What if this? That's all I was thinking. But then they were so happy to sit there and learn. So I think that would be, I would say that would be my second achievement. The fact that I managed, God used me to build this school, and I see the children, and even, in fact, one of them is the one that does all my flyers. He does my videos. If I have a video, I'll send him and say, Barak, do this for me, do this for me. And he's in Kenya, and I pay him every month for that. Even if he doesn't do anything the whole month, I still have something that
to pay him,
I give him, and it's not him who asked me to pay him. It's just me saying thank you to him. He came from that school, and he does so well. So there's a lot of children who have come from that school. They went to uni. They're doing so well. I'm so proud of them. Business people. I help another one also set up a business. She's a chef. So that is something that makes me feel good. That I know that a child will one day stand and take a microphone and say, I'm here today because Lydia allowed God to use her for me to be here today and everything. You know what I mean? So that for me is a very big achievement as well.
Okay, okay. Well, I admire that. Now, there is also something else which are quite observant and which is a bit worrying. It's a general trend which even the statistics here have come up with, in the sense that when it comes to Africa, with better education, better schools, better this and that, the roles, as they've reversed, that there are more women into men's roles as we go along. There will be a time when there will be more women taking over most of the men's roles. Then how do you expect the world to be if you have more women in a men's world and there are fewer women?
What's the men's role though? What's the men's role?
No, what I'm
I don't
saying,
see
the major roles. Okay.
Like what?
Presidents of the countries. Those are.
So are you saying a woman can't be president?
Of course she can. That's what I'm saying. But because for generations there have been so many men in leadership.
But that's what.
Okay, let me take it as a leadership role. In leadership roles.
Yeah, but that's what men. Yeah, but that's what you men. That's what men brought and said, oh, this is a man's world. This is who say this is a man's world? Okay,
let's leave it at that.
And who say that it's only a man who can be president? And who say it's a man who can be a general manager?
If the majority of it now, in all the companies, in all the major companies, in all the women have acquired positions and they're practically in leadership role. Do you think could this affect the balance in our societies, in life, in a way that now that we have more women in these roles, could this affect the balance in our standard?
It will affect it really
for
big
good
time.
Or for worse?
For good.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that because I'm a woman, but women are better leaders than men. So if women are taking big places, and I'm not saying, because the way you're putting it, that they're taking men's roles. Those are no men's roles. It's a man who put it there and say, being a president is a man's role.
I should say society, not really my mind.
Yeah,
not
it's just what society.
It's society. I'm looking at it from that angle.
Yeah, that's the perception of society that, men should do this, a man should do this. Engineering is for, because even before they used to say engineering is for men, to be an engineer, to do doctor is for men. Nowadays we have more engineers that are women, and we have more doctors that are women. So women are doing really well in their roles. So I don't think there's anything that men should be worried about, that women are taking leadership, something is going to happen. I don't think men should be worried about that. All I think is if a woman is in a role, in a leadership, I think if the woman has a husband or the woman has a brother or the father, I think they should support that woman to do better in whatever role she's in. And personally, I wouldn't support, if I see a woman who is a president or she's a general manager or something, I would not support the woman because she's a woman. I'll support her because of what she's doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not support because, oh, it's a woman. No, I'm not clapping for a woman because a woman is in a higher seat. Yeah, but I'm clapping because that woman is doing what she's supposed to do in that higher seat.
There is something else here as well, because a report that came from Rwanda as well, and also there was another report from South Africa, where society has been, or those in leadership have been saying, okay, we have left the women behind. We need to come with the women. So you find that some are not competent in their positions, but because the companies are being asked to put women in those areas, even in parliaments, the Ugandan parliament, somebody was talking about, they can be there trained, but then you said the qualifications they have, because it's like you are moving somebody quicker than the person was supposed to be.
No, I disagree with that because these positions that they're putting these people who are incompetent is because they brought their cousin from where. They do not, you can't tell me that there's a position in Africa, somewhere in a position in Kenya or South Africa or wherever. There's a position and they cannot find somebody who is competent enough to fill that position.
But if they find, no, look at it this way. The competent people, that the Rwanda issue that I've mentioned, I was reading about it, and somebody was saying,
those are men who wrote whatever you're reading.
Come on. You haven't even listened to what I was saying. Some of these reports were written by women. It could be that the next 5 years, yes, we are going to have a woman who has come in through the ranks and be successful in that area. But rather than jump the gun and bring her here, in 2 years' time, when we could have waited another 3 years. That's the kind of thing that they're saying. That some of the women went into parliament in Rwanda and even in Uganda because there was that element of saying, we're not going to have men standing with them. We only going to have 2 women standing for that particular seat. So whoever wins is a woman anyway, because it's only women who are going to stand for those particular seats. Now, there was that element that said, okay, we could do that, but are they competent enough to be in parliament?
Yeah, but how did they pass that? What was the criteria?
Because when
but when they were saying that 2 people are going to stand against each other, what was the criteria for them to get that seat?
Okay.
If they did not meet that criteria, why would they give them that seat? Do you know what I mean? There's somebody somewhere who can actually meet that criteria to be given that seat.
Yeah,
but they would know that because of the corruption.
It could be a man.
It could be a man, that's fine. It could be a man, it could be a woman. But they think, that's why I said, I don't clap because a woman is in the seat. I clap because they're doing what they're supposed to do, whether it's a woman or a man. But when you're talking about incompetent, it's because, and you're talking about Africa. Africa is corrupt. There's a lot of corruption there. I know every country is corrupt. And the only difference with corruption in Africa and here, example, how many prime ministers have we had? If they do something, yes, they are corrupt. If they are found out, they will step down immediately. In Africa, if you're found out, the person who found you out, tomorrow they are gone. You don't even know where they are. They've gone missing. That's corruption. So the corruption in Africa as a continent is in a very high. It's so high that you cannot even say that women were put there and they're incompetent, because the person who put them there knew
that they were incompetent.
Knew they were incompetent and still went ahead and put them there. And they start blaming women. Look at these women. Look at all these incompetent women. But yet, they're the ones who put them there. Because if I'm incompetent and I cannot do something, you come to me and say, look, I know you can't do this, but if you give me this amount of money, I will allow you to do it. I'll give you the money, and then I'm incompetent in my job, and then you are the one again coming to accuse me that I'm incompetent, and yet you've eaten my money, and I can't come back and say, oh, but I gave you money to get that position. You know what I mean?
I see your point.
So it's just an African thing.
Lydia, if you become president of Kenya, just in case, what do you do? What are some of the things you do in Kenya?
First of all, all those old goons that call themselves ministers and presidents and prime ministers, whatever they are. I know there's no prime minister.
Nyumbani.
No, not just nyumbani. First of all, they have to account for every wealth that they have. All those 10 cars they're driving, they have to tell us how they got them.
So you're probably going to imprison everybody then.
I'd rather imprison everybody.
Yeah.
I'd rather imprison everybody and bring new generation, because we do have new generation that can lead.
Of course.
Look at Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
He became president at the age of 35.
Yeah.
Look at how he's changing Burkina Faso. So you can't tell me that somebody who is 35 or 30 cannot be a president. We have to always reshuffle 80 years old. 80. How can an 80-year-old stand and say, I want to be president? 79, 60. No, why can't we leave it to young people and then mentor them?
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's no mentorship in Africa. One Museveni has been a president since I was born. This man is still a president.
I know.
You can't compare Africa and tell me that women are in power, women are in big places, and they're incompetent. Of course they will be incompetent, because nobody cares. Everybody cares about their pocket. And to put an incompetent woman there is for their own benefit, because then I'm not going to question you.
Yeah.
Because I'm incompetent enough. I don't even have brains that this thing should be here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you put somebody who is incompetent so they don't question what your incompetency. They don't question it. Because you too, you're incompetent. But because if you put me there, I don't even know what's going on. Me, I'm just there following. They say, go right, I go right. Go left, I go left. I can't question, why should I go right or left?
So the moment you're president, the first thing is you get everybody down.
I get all those old cows out. Yes.
Okay. But the thing is, you can't simply say, I'm beginning a new chapter. Let's begin from the beginning.
Why can't you? Burkina Faso did it, and it's a success. You can't start a new chapter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But forget about whatever they did. So you move with the time and just.
But there are also some people who are good. We have some people who are good, even though they're in the government, they're old, they're good, but probably they're scared of speaking. Because if you speak, tomorrow your child will not end up in school for some whatever reasons. Yeah, they will disappear in the process. So because of that, they choose to be quiet. Or they choose to say, if you can't beat them, join them. They choose to join them. But if there's good governance now, there's good leadership, they probably will say, oh my God, now I can speak my mind, now I can do this correct way. But they're just doing it the wrong way, because everybody's doing it the wrong way. So why should I be the only one doing it the right way?
When you look at your life from the beginning,
from when I was born?
Yeah, when you were born.
When I was born, I didn't know anything.
As far as you can remember, and look at, because I'm looking more or less, I'm looking, as the program is about role models and the models that have been there. An auntie, a father, a cousin. Somewhere, somehow, there must be something that has made you into a success, but a success that begins from either home, there has to be something. If you're writing your biography tomorrow, one of the things that you put forward as a child, as a 17 or 18-year-old, that you say, you know what, I met Steve Mulindwa and he changed everything, and I did this or that. There has to be something. Is there something out there that we should know about?
I wouldn't even lie, but Tett, there was a lady called Lydia Tett.
Okay.
She was a dancer, a singer, because that's my background. I'm a performing artist. It's just that now I'm doing other things because I'm getting older. So I left it for the young ones to do it. But as an artist, there was this girl who her name was Lydia Tett, and that's where my Tett came in. I was never
she was not related to you.
She wasn't. She was American. She was in America or somewhere. She was a white lady, so I don't even know where she was from. That young girl, I'm just thinking everybody's from America. But her name was Lydia Tett. That's the girl I used to watch every day until I called myself Tett. I wasn't born a Tett. And Tett ended up in my birth certificate, and I ended up being called Lydia Tett Olet, because Olet is my surname and Lydia is the name I was given. So I was given Lydia and Aching, but I didn't, at that time, I didn't embrace that Aching name. Now I love it and I embrace it, but because now I'm just Lydia Tett Olet and the name is also very, very unique. Nobody in this world, the entire world is called Lydia Tett Olet apart from me. So that's how I'm like, you know what, let me keep this name. But Tett wasn't really my name. So that Lydia Tett is a person that I used to watch all the time. But talking of now me stepping out from all the barriers and now being who Lydia Tett Olet is now, I wouldn't say that. But I think the resilience I have now and the hard work, I would say, is from my mom.
Okay.
Because my mom used to work hard. That woman worked hard. Because my dad was an abusive person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very abusive. He wasn't helpful. He wasn't bringing money home. So my mom worked so hard. And if this failed, because one day I was sitting down and say, why is it that when I'm doing something and it fails, I'm thinking of something else. And then I remembered my mom. My mom did so many things in my time that when I sit back and look at her life, sit back and look at my mom doing all those things, I'm amazed. I can't believe it. So the resilience and the energy is from my mom.
Okay.
I can say that for sure. It's from my mom. And also the helping heart that I have is from her, because my mom used to just help anybody. So those I would say is from my mom. But again, as much as you take something from your mom, you have to build it. Or you take something from your dad, or you take something from your so-called idol or hero. You still have to build it.
Do it. You have to build it yourself.
You have to build it. Exactly. You have to build it yourself. So as much as I saw my mom work so hard, and I know that that is a reflection of me, I still have to put on my own hard work in it and build through the ladder. Yeah.
So that simplicity of the way you looked at it and the way the journey has been all the way from Africa, from Kenya to here, and you are looking at challenges that have come and gone, and others that are, somewhere you're always using this word, and I can quote you, I don't know how many 1,000 times. It's always God. It can only be God.
Yes.
There's a religious aspect in there, but then do I see a pastor, Lydia Tett Olet, somewhere in the future?
No pastor here.
There will be no pastor.
Nah. Do you know the funny thing is? They always say that when you're praying, you have to be specific with your prayer. When I was praying for my children, I was praying because I have girls now. I have a boy by extension. But I was praying for my girls, and I said, God, if my girls get married, I don't want them to get married to a pastor. I don't want them to get married to a prince. That now they have to change and pretend that's there. And I used to say that all the time. And I'll say this as well. And this is it's nothing to do with being racism or being something to do with preference. I also used to say, there's 3 things I used to say. I also used to say, I don't want them to get married to a white person.
Really?
Because of the culture clash. So it was pastor, pastor, prince, and a white person. I used to pray, God, please don't let these people come my children's way. And I don't want to get married to those 3 people either, because then your life is not who you are anymore.
Why?
Because if you're a pastor's wife, do you know what those people go through?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. It's too much. I can't deal with it. I cannot. And then if you're married to a prince, now you have to be somebody. You have to be somebody that you're not, because now you're being controlled, probably being washed, being told when to brush your teeth, being told when to eat, all those things. And then if it's a white person, and people are married to white people, and they're very, very happy, and that's fine. And I don't have a problem with any of that. But I was thinking, with the culture clash, and that is just when I came to this country that I used to pray all those things, because I used to see how we were not like merging together with the Caucasian community, because there was so much racism, there was so much struggle if you're in the community. But now things have changed.
Of course,
But that was my prayer. And I'm sure you hit heaven already.
The pastor's wife.
No. And I love and respect pastors' wives. But I know they go through a lot. They go through a lot. And it takes God's grace for that. And I don't think I have that grace to be pastor's wife or to be a pastor myself. I have my own grace to do other things. But for that, that grace passed.
No, my opinion was always there that somewhere, from what I see, from your beliefs and from your actions, there was always that element. It's only got to be God. That phase has always come in, and when it comes in, I said, "Wow, God has a way in which He has used you, and you have used Him."
I was a deaconess. I was a deaconess. Yes, I was ordained a deaconess.
Wow,
by
I didn't know
Bishop
this.
Tudor Bismarck.
Okay.
Yes, so I was ordained.
Wait, in Kenya?
No, in this country.
Indeed. Okay.
Tudor Bismarck. I was ordained by Bishop to be a deaconess. So I am an ordained deaconess who does not practice deaconesses.
Why? Tabugani.
I'm just a child of God. I'm just a woman of God, anointed woman of God. Even sometimes I meet some people and they say, "Oh, you are our celebrity." I say, "No, I'm not a celebrity. I'm God's anointed child."
Okay.
That's who I am, God's anointed child. All these other titles, nah, I don't do titles.
You're a very interesting person in a way, because the kind of things that I had in mind about you and the kind of things that I see about you from the various areas where you've been, and I mean, it becomes, I said, this is what I have in mind. It's today you brought out a very different part of you that I didn't even know about. Yeah, seriously, because the ordaining part of it, because when I look at Christianity and I looked at it, and I would always say, well, that is probably going to be the next move that you have to do.
Yes.
And I've always, I don't know, maybe I got it completely wrong. How about teaching as well? Because in a sense, you have that motivation. You have that thing. You do the teaching as well?
Yes, I do teaching in my church. I'm the young adults teacher.
Okay.
So I teach. I've always, every time, it's so weird because every time I'm in church, even if I go to another church, they'll still spot me. This church that I'm in, when I left my other church and I was like, I don't want to do, because I was a deaconess, and then I stopped in that church. I went to another church and I was like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit back. And one day the pastor was praying. I don't know this pastor from anywhere at that time. Now she's my pastor, of course. And she was just like, and this person did it, and this person did it, and that girl there, you should be youth. And I was like, oh my God, Lord, why? Why did you have to choose me to be the youth leader? So I've been a youth. I started, the children that I was teaching now, they're up to 26 years old now.
Whoa,
so I've been a youth teacher for the longest. And then now I've gone to being a young adult teacher between 25 and 35. So I now teach them. So yes, so I do teach, I do talk to them. And they love me because, yes, we do read the Bible and talk about the Bible. Yeah. And I think for me, that's where
everything ends. You don't want to prolong it, to retake it to further, beyond steps, beyond that.
No. Yeah. That's where it ends.
Yeah.
Because I'm still serving God, and I'm still doing the work of God, and God is still using me. And I've allowed him to use me as my vessel, as his vessel. Okay. So that is where it ends.
How do you... This is the last one, by the way.
Okay.
How do we see Lydia Tett Olet in the next 50 years? If God gives you that long to ring.
I don't want God to give me 50 years. I'll be dead.
Yeah, no.
50 years?
In case you're here. What
I
else?
Will not be here, please.
I'll say 10 years.
50 years is a long time.
Okay, 10 years. 10 years start from today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
10 years, yes. Yeah. 10 yees, I don't know. 10 years, I don't want to be in this country. 10 years, because I'm working on to my exit plan. Yeah. Because I can't stand winter. I know I've been in this country for almost 30 years, but I still cannot stand winter. I hate it so much. It gives me, anytime I see winter is coming, I start just getting depressed. It just does something to me.
You'll hand over Kenya in the park to someone else?
My children will take over.
Okay.
Yeah, my children will take over because it was my project. It was my dream. Yeah. So I can't give it to someone else, but I can give it to my children. They'll take it over. Okay. And even them, if they have to give it away to their children, it will be like that. Because Kenyan Friends, the park is here. And I know it's here to stay. Because it's God brought it to life, and it's here to stay. Okay. Until generation to generation. Okay. But for me, my plan, 10 years' time, I'll be somewhere in Limuru.
Limuru in Kenya. Okay, asante sana. Thank you very, very much for coming on the program and telling us all about Kenya in the Park and your opinions.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you very much for being with us today, and I do hope that you'll be with us again next week for another edition of Africa Speaks. Thank you, and may God bless you all.